Hello, everybody. Welcome to the weekend update, September 22nd. Feeling a little bit like fall out there. Loving that weather. So hopefully you guys had a good week. Have a good weekend planned ahead. We had a lot of fun, a lot of big stuff going on here this week. We'll go over and some of the fun stuff coming up next week. First thing we're going to jump into our market reports would have been super encouraging again. So if you look at this, last week we had big jumps. And look at that. Showings about the same week over week. But when we looked at this last week for the whole DC metropolitan area, we're up 21, almost 22% in contracts again, 2 weeks in a row. It's like 20% up in contracts. And I went to the chart, and sure enough, it went straight up. It kind of bottomed out that Labor Day weekend and went up 40% in the last 2 weeks. So that's great stuff. Hopefully a sign of some good stuff to come. I know that we're not always feeling that out there, but when you look at the market as a global scale, it means there's more transactions going on out there. 10% less listings. Not too big of a deal, but that median list price thing always throws me off a little bit. It's down 8% this week, but last week randomly it jumped 20% week over week. So I think there was some weird data in there last week. But anyway, the contracts are the most encouraging thing I see on there. Here you go, the Central Virginia kind of area. Again, up 8% in contracts. That's awesome stuff. Showings fairly flat. 2% isn't a huge deal one way or the other. Contracts the same. 16% more listings. That's good news right there. That's, another 100 listings, 40 times two. Now it's another 60 listings basically than last week, roughly. Median list price fairly flat. So good stuff there in the central region with some positive stuff. A little bit north, we got that Baltimore metro area, the Howard, Columbia County, or Howard County, Harford County, Baltimore County. Again, 5% more contracts than last week. These are encouraging things for us going into the fall. Fairly flat on new listings, days on market, that kind of stuff, and showing. So that's good stuff. And, the median list price, is fairly insignificant there as far as the movement on price point. Last one here, the Maryland, West Virginia Panhandle. Again, a lot less showings. The percentages can get thrown off a little bit here, but 9% more showings is good stuff. Contracts off 4.5%. But really in that range, we're only talking about 6 contracts because we had 174 contracts last week. So we're talking about 5 contracts different, 6 contract different. Median contract days way down from 26 to 19. That's a lot in 1 week. And new listings up 3.5%. So again, that's only like another 6 listings or so. So fairly flat in the contracts and the listings from week over week. And that median list price stayed fairly flat as well. So good stuff overall. A lot of contracts up last week. Hopefully that's encouraging signs into that we still get a good fall market here for the next couple months, and we're able to hold that pattern and that business that we have a little bit better through the fall market here. Our top performers for the week, first by volume, Peggy Oremland, great job Peggy. Prince Raassi, Tonga Turner, Keysha Washington, and Saurabh Vasudeva. So great job to you 5, your top 5 in volume for this week in our whole company. Top 5 in transactions for the week. Tonga Turner, Prince Raassi, Keysha Washington, Raynard Martin, and Saem Kim. So great job. Three duplicates there and a couple new names. So great job to our top performers for last week. Our top teams in the company last week in volume. Shepherd Homes Group, number 1. One Street Company, number 2. The Easy Way, number 3. William Wu team, one of our old great teams making an appearance here. And the Jamil Brothers Realty Group, they've just been killing it the last 6 or 8 weeks. I think they had 6 or 8 cardinal contracts yesterday in our sales, or 2 days ago in our sales meeting. So great job to the Jamil Brothers as well. Top transactions for last week, Shepherd Homes Group, the One Street Company, the Easy Way, Jamil Brothers Realty Group, and then the A team led by Meredith Smith out in West Virginia. So great job to our top teams for last week. We had a great cornhole tournament on Wednesday. We had our super sales meeting, of course. More to come on what we talked about there, but we just had a great time by all. You can see lots of great pictures. We had food trucks. We had ice cream. Over 100 people out there hanging out. We had 32 teams playing, plus a lot of people just hanging out to have a good time. So it was a great day by all. Hopefully you guys can continue to make it out when we have fun events like this. I'm going to try to do this humbly, but unfortunately in the top right there, you can see me and my man Ian McVeigh from Redstone, and we were the champions. So we had a great tournament overall. The group from Gaithersburg there, best dressed. Best name was Me So Corny. So good job on that team name. But as you can see on the right there, right underneath us are Jerry Berry and Denise Draper. They were second place. They actually beat us early on 21-20. We blew a 20-12 lead. They came on strong at the end, and then so later at the end of the day, it was double elimination. We got to play them, and we were able to beat them twice in a row to end it. So it was a great time. We had beautiful weather and a good time out in our parking lot here at headquarters. So good day overall. So thanks for all that came out. Hopefully you guys had a great time. And you guys, anybody wants to come by and see my trophy, you guys can feel free to do that whenever you want. I'm going to keep it on display in the office for a little bit for anybody that wants to see it. Some of the people in the office get a little sad because I had to beat them on the path there, but all in good fun. Our official team name was Baggin' and Braggin', so I have to brag a little bit, right? Our Bowie sales meeting, we're going to have our super sales meeting on Wednesday, October 18th. I believe we're going to be at the Courtyard Marriott, which is right down the street from our Bowie office. Chris, our event coordinator, is finalizing that today. But let's go with that for now. So I think we're going to be at that Courtyard Marriott for our Bowie Super Sales meeting that day. And then I believe we're going to have lunch and learn later that afternoon at the same place. So we kind of dropped a big matzo ball in our sales meeting about our company policy change. I'm going to be as brief as possible here. We'll have more follow-up on this coming out in writing. A lot of the national lawsuits, the bombshell lawsuits that are going on, is there's a lot of independent class action going on against some of the biggest real estate companies in the world. Realogy, it's Anywhere now, it used to be Realogy, and Remax. Realogy is a conglomerate of Coldwell Banker, Century 21, ERA, Sotheby's, Corcoran. All these franchises together is owned by Anywhere. Anywhere, Remax, Long & Foster, Berkshire, Keller Williams to come, but Remax and Anywhere have already settled these big lawsuits for big money. And basically the crux of the issue comes in, the class action is trying to say that realtors can't force sellers to pay the buyer's commission. Now look, I don't necessarily agree that we force anybody, I guess, to do anything. We think it's the best way to do business. But as these rulings started to come out, or these settlements, not rulings yet, we believed it was the best course of action to remove our minimum restriction today to try to remove Samson from some future liability. So starting as of Wednesday, 2 days ago, you no longer have to have the minimum of 2.5% out to the buyer side and Bright. Now, with that being said, we still 100% believe it's the best way to do business. We think that you're going to get your best cooperation. We think you're going to get your best exposure in the marketplace for the most amount of buyers and buyer agents coming in and trying to sell your house. And I would 100% school your sellers on the fact that's your best option. With that being said, you do now have the flexibility to offer less if you need to get that transaction. You also, if a seller refuses, you don't have to give out buyer agency commission, but I do think that you need to help educate them on what they're missing out on. We are going to have some education we're planning on how to talk to sellers in this case around this issue and how to work with buyers better. One real key in the issues going forward, guys, is getting a good buyer agency agreement in place is going to be vital. Getting in the place that you're their agent and what that compensation is. Now, you can put 2.5% on that buyer's agency agreement. Worst case scenario, if you roll across one that's 1.5, you can always call that seller, call that listing agent, try to get more commission. If they're not willing to give it, then you have the option to go to your buyer and ask for them to supplement it, because in theory, you do have an agreement that they're willing to pay you that much. You don't have to hold them up on it, but you can. You also can get the seller to maybe add 1% of closing costs for that buyer that you can then redirect towards your commission. But we're going to have some education around this. A couple big questions too that we're still deciding as a management team and a leadership team. We're going to meet in the coming days and come out with some rulings on this. Are our minimum advertising requirements. For now, we have not changed those, but we do think it could have to change or should change based on some of these things. So we'll see. We're going to get everybody in a room and talk about it a little bit. And, what exactly we want to do as far as if we want to have any kind of opt-out language or opt-in language or potential adverse consequences that if a seller does want to offer out no buyer agency conversation, that we may have to make them check a box or some kind of disclosure saying they understand that they might be exposing themselves to less in the market and maybe hurting their sale in the long run if they don't offer out some kind of compensation for a buyer coming in. I don't like the way this is going. If the market starts to go this way, I'm with all of you on this. The people out there that need buyer agency the most and need a representative are the no money down, 3.5%, 5%, those first-time home buyers. And how are they going to pay a buyer agent 1%, 2%, 3% to be their agent if they're scrapping together the money just for their down payment? So I do think that this is something that we really hope is not going to be a part of what's going forward in our business, but we will certainly, as Samson Properties, do our best to keep buyer agency up as high as possible and work to educate you all in the best practice, work with sellers in the best practice, work with buyers going forward. So more to come on some of those opt-ins and minimum restrictions, but for now, we're removing all 2.5% minimum language from what we do, and it's protect ourselves liability-wise and to give you all the chance to pivot and do your business the way you need to out there. So that was one big thing that we did drop during the sales meeting. Had some good conversation about it, and there'll be more conversation to come around to that issue. A couple other reminders quick before I get into some more news is, remember we got SamsonNOW, our in-house advance commission company. When you're filling out your SkySlope form, there's a button in there, and if you want that advance right now, we can get you that advancement at quicker, faster, easier for just 5% or 8% interest rate to bring that in. Remember, we've got recruiting rewards. If you bring your friends to a lunch and learn or introduce them to me by email, we can get you a great recruiting reward. We've got a lot of opportunities coming up with lunch and learns. We've got PJ Clark's in DC next Wednesday. Michael's Cafe in White Marsh, Wednesday the 4th. Wednesday the 11th, we'll be at Augustine Golf Club. Wednesday the 18th, and between there, I think we're going to be at Bowie Courtyard Marriott after the Super Sales meeting. And then Wednesday the 25th, we're going to be at Ruth Chris Steakhouse. So 5 Wednesdays in a row. We'll have great lunch and learns all over, opportunities really all over our footprint that you can bring people in, hopefully introduce them to Samson Properties, and we'll do our best to bring them into our family. We released these capture reports, so Zach's going to make them bigger here for on the screen so you can kind of see here. These are on the Cardinal Nest. You can dig into your office better. This shows the capture report for every office. Red was last month's capture report. This is the percentage of buyers, percentage of buy sides that we got to go to Cardinal Title Group. The blue is the yearly average for that office. Our average for the whole month was 42.6%, which was down 1% from July. So hopefully we'll be able to kick that up again in September with some contracts coming in. But we see these red charts. I break them down. It's a little bit easier to read here, but you can see in our smaller offices, we had some good wins there. Looks like Fairfax and Silver Spring and Culpeper, great percentages. And these are a little bit smaller numbers. The office sizes are based on how many agents belong there, not necessarily by size of the physical office. Our medium offices had some great wins there. Arlington did a great job. Reston was good. White Marsh, Leesburg, Gainesville, Fredericksburg, all above that black line, which is our company average. And then we obviously had some that were below that as well. Our large offices, this is where I wish these were a little bit higher because most of our large offices sag below that medium line there. I mean, Alexandria did a great job, almost at 50%. Chantilly's just above the line, and Tyson's is just above the line. But some of these other offices fell below the line. Lake Ridge was, below that for the first time in a while because they're normally above that. We see that blue line. So we really just got to work hard, guys, to, in some of our Maryland offices on that sheet too, we're a little bit below. So we'd love to get that up. We are sending surveys out now to why you aren't using Cardinal if you aren't. And we want to hear from you if there's a reason so we can try to fix it, because our healthiest route through this fall and winter is if we can continue to get these capture rates up so we can get more closings for Cardinal and have more funds to take care of everybody at Samson. These are our newer offices here. So Bethesda, great job. They were up at almost 80%, it looks like. Charlestown's been consistently in that 60-65% range every month. And then Washington, D.C. Farragut did a good job as well around that black line as well. Congratulations also from Cardinal. We made some announcements that Ruby was processed for the month for July and Stephanie Page for August. Post-closure of the month for Cardinal was Alex in July and Consuelo, who's newer to us, in August. So great job to all those Cardinal performers. Upcoming classes in education. Guys, we've had so much success with HQDU. It's been awesome. So many of you have come out, and it's just been great days. It's the day I look forward to every week, just to get out and see everybody, see all the great education, the great one another's that are happening. Wednesday, we will be in the DC NOMA office. It is beautiful. If you haven't been there before, take this opportunity to go. Might be worth taking the Metro now because parking isn't super fun, but there is a parking lot hidden behind the office there. But just give yourself a couple extra minutes to park. But it is a beautiful location. You will love it there. So we're gonna have a great day out there, learning together, eating together, breaking bread. So great schedule all day. At lunchtime, Sarah and I do a Q&A, ask us anything. And it's a great experience to be able to get with you all, and you can ask us anything about what's going on in the market out there. October, just to plan, we got White Marsh, Stafford, Alexandria. And then November, if you're planning out there, Silver Spring and Fredericksburg are also on the schedule for November already before Thanksgiving. So lots of great stuff to come with HQDUs. Next Thursday, guys, Casey is fantastic. Casey was in the sales meeting on Wednesday. Forgot to say this, but shout out to Casey. Did an awesome job. Steve Ellis with Ellis Properties did an awesome job. They dropped some great knowledge on you. If you haven't watched the sales meeting, you can fast forward through Sarah and I if you want. That's fine. I would watch the section about the 2.5% rule, but I'd watch all of it, but especially the 2.5% rule. But Casey and Steve did awesome jobs, presented some great tips. You get great agents that are super successful, willing to drop their knowledge to us. That's super valuable, guys. So I'm going to see how many times I can say super in one sentence. But next Thursday, Casey's going to be live in studio here, share his best negotiation strategies to navigate this real estate market. If Casey's talking, I'm watching, guys. I want to see this room packed. Next Thursday, 10:30 to noon. If you can get here, you should come here. These are not going to be live streamed out to everybody. So you want to get here on Thursday. Now, typically Justin and Zach will tape it and they'll get it up there eventually. But, there's nothing like in person. You can ask your real questions. You can get one of the top realtors in the whole state of Virginia and the whole metropolitan area to answer your questions and to drop great knowledge on you. What's better than that? So get here Thursday for that. Samson Plus is our group coach, our coaching stuff. Richard's done a great job spearheading this. So our coaches do a free class every week that you can hop in, get a taste of everything. It's free. And then you can sign up for the one-on-ones if you want to dive deeper. Next Tuesday, the 26th, Deb Gorham is going to do Finishing the Year Strong through the fourth quarter with holidays and business planning. So Deb Gorham will be next Tuesday. The following Tuesday, the 3rd, Tracy Romero, Leveraging Authenticity in Your Business. The following Tuesday, the 10th, Google Ads 101 with Austin Southern. Guys, jump into these classes. They're virtual links on the Cardinal Nest. It's free, great training from our great coaches. If you like what you hear, you like those coaches, jump in on one-on-ones. There's not better money you can spend than one-on-one training with a coach. I mean, we've got programs, if you go to the Samson Plus page, that you can pay per month, a couple $100 a month, or you can save 5% of your one transaction. Look, you pay for, $250 a month, for argument's sake, for 12 months. Okay, great. That's $2,500 this year. But you know what? You need one transaction every 4 years from your coach to get $10,000 back. Coaching will transform your whole business, guys. This is the biggest no-brainer in the history of Earth. You will set a better game plan, have more accountability, and your business will take off from doing one-on-one sessions with these people. I promise. That's why we are willing to invest in, fine, don't pay us monthly. Pay us 5% of every deal. Now look, maybe you prefer it that way. Frankly, Samson will make more money that way because I know your business will take off if you do the coaching. But we give you both options because we want to make it, safer for whatever choice you want to do. But I could not give a higher recommendation to jumping in and getting a coach. I believe hundreds of you should break our coaching system. We should have to add 10 more coaches tomorrow because that's how much I believe in the coaching system. So you can go to that QR code or go to the Cardinal Nest, go to Samson Coaching on the left there, the Samson Plus button, and get that coaching taken care of. We've got a class, I guess that's next week now. Man, we're already at the 22nd. Next Thursday, the 28th, it's Realtor Safety Month. Your safety is non-negotiable. Great class here in our headquarters. You can take some safety. If I know that group, they'll probably end up at a happy hour afterwards down the block at Lost Dog and talk about who beat up who. It's not Lost Dog, it's Lazy Dog, so I'll try to get it right. But it's a great realtor safety training. In all seriousness, I made a joke, but realtor safety is super important. You can learn some tricks, silly stuff that I don't think about because, maybe I'm a dude that, has a couple muscles and people maybe aren't jumping me as often, but you walk into a house and you will make sure you lock the door behind you. I never locked the door behind me one time when I was a realtor, but those are things that you don't think about unless you get these tons of great safety tips you're going to get when you take this class. So come out next Thursday night, Realtor Safety. We've taken our KV Core and Chime classes on the road. This is going to be, you can focus on KV Core in the morning, then have lunch, then focus on Chime after that. Charlestown, Richmond, and Columbia on the schedule. So if you want to get that hands-on treatment with your laptop, go click by click, get with our trainers and take those classes. This is awesome, guys. I touched on this in the meeting, but Lynn Hamilton, we had so much fun with this last year. Her fourth quarter challenge. The business and the tactics and the consistency you set up right now are going to dictate how your 2024 goes. If you sit on the sidelines and pout for the last 3 months of the year, your 2024 is going to stink. I'm telling you right now. Set up yourself right now for success. Do the things. Get into the Cardinal Nest. You can register right now for the fourth quarter challenge. She's going to give you activities to get points. Everybody loves a good contest, right? You get points for doing this. You get points for doing that. You can accrue points for doing this. And then you get prizes, but it's more about the accountability, the one another's, sharing this experience. And then you're going to wake up in 90 days and your business is going to be in such better shape, I promise. Jump into the fourth quarter challenge. I want to see 500 people in the challenge. And Lynn's going to be up all night trying to track your points and all that kind of stuff. Get people in there. You will not be disappointed. If you aren't having the success you want, there's only one person to blame. It's yourself. Look in the mirror and say, what can I do? Get into the classes, get in the fourth quarter challenge. If you're still not seeing it, then let's have a conversation. But roll up your sleeves and give your career a chance. Fourth quarter challenge is where it's at. Agent orientations, these are a great way to lock in. We've got 2 or 3 a week. This is a great way to remind yourself of all the great things we have to offer. If you're newer to us, great, yes, get an orientation. But even if you need to get reconnected, get to an orientation. They're all over our footprint. They are only in person. It's a great way to connect and learn about all the things we're doing and get connected. Next week's classes. Monday, as always, we have KV Core Profile classes and build out your core social and core listing machine setup so that they're set up good to go. Easy class, but you gotta eat an elephant one bite at a time. This is that first bite. Setting up your profile and connecting everything. Your free coaching Zoom is 10 o'clock. That's with Deb next Tuesday. Jumpstart. Lynn's going to do Jumpstart sessions 3 and 4 in Gainesville on Tuesday. If you missed 1 and 2 last week, that's okay. She'll still let you come in. Come in and do 3 and 4. You can always catch up on 1 and 2 later or go online and watch 1 and 2. They do have it on Samson University, but get in there. It will be worth your day, I promise. Tuesday, customize your KV Core website. Step-by-step instructions on how to get your website going. Wednesday, HQDU all day. DC NOMA, can't wait. It's going to be a great time. I'll be out there. All of our staff is going to be out there. The other thing is if you're in a class and you're like, oh, well, this class isn't for me, you can set up one-on-ones with the rest of our staff that's sitting there all day. So it's a great experience to connect with staff on one-on-one level and group classes. Our mastermind on Thursday is the $0 to $2 million crew. Thursday, Casey's here. Casey's here. Come to the Chantilly office. Hear Casey live in person. It'll be worth it. And then afterwards, you can get online at 12:30 and get in your Master Your Marketing class with Lynn Hamilton. So you can learn from 10:30 to 12 from Casey, get a local lunch, get in front of your Zoom and hop on and learn from Lynn at 12:30 to 1:30. And then you can come here at night and do the Realtor Safety course. So you've got a whole day of training for you. After Wednesday, HQDU all day. So there's lots of learning here at Samson. Friday as well, wake up early, get on the computer, get onto the commercial real estate webinar with Aladdin. Great tips in there, great exchange of one another's with our commercial broker Aladdin. Friday's contract training, 10 o'clock. Our GCAR and DC focus next week with Noble Davis, who's our DC principal broker as well. And then closing out Friday financing at 10 o'clock with Jerry Berry on the call. And then Lori does a KV Core campaigns class every Friday at 11 o'clock, which is how to build out your drip campaigns. And then at 2 o'clock, we close out the week with a bang. Heather does her print marketing class where she's teaching you how to do all the print marketing things that you need. You can always get all of our staff one-on-one to help you with all these things. But if you just want to jump into a group setting and kind of learn, kind of get started because you're afraid to got to get your feet wet, great opportunity to get in there and learn the basics. Then you can fly from there. Guys, things are happening awesome here. We're so thankful for all the, I announced on Wednesday, we had 128 people joining since last week. 128 people. It's amazing stuff. There's some great announcements to come on even some more great people that are joining here in the next couple of days. So we are super thankful for all your support, all of our growth, all the great things going on. I would just encourage you to support Cardinal Title Group as much as you can. As we get into this fall and winter season, every transaction counts. We will do our best to take great care of you. And if we don't, please let me know. Carrie and Reed and I will fix it, make sure that we're doing a great job to service you all. But I think they're going to do an A+ job. We get no complaints about Cardinal service. They just do a fantastic job and knock it out of the park every time. So thank you all. Hope you guys have a great weekend. We got lots of fun playing. It looks like maybe a little storm tomorrow might cancel some sports. But if you get out there, have a great weekend. Enjoy the weather. Enjoy the fall. And we will hopefully the Commanders take down the Bills, get to 3-0. My boys are doing it. Sam House high forever, baby. Let's go. So we will see you back next week. We'll see you in DC for the HQDU. Easier for me to say. HQDU next Wednesday. And then Friday, I'll be back on a weekend update again. Take care and see you all soon.